Hey everybody, welcome back to the Junkyard Dog Report. Rough game yesterday, like really rough. Definitely some good moments in there, also some bad ones, specifically defensively. We never seemed to get it going in this game against the Pacers, and we were just playing at their pace all game, which didn't work out for us, obviously. We didn't have that fourth quarter we had against them last time where we beat them 35-18, and Donovan Mitchell had 18 points in that fourth quarter in that game. So we didn't have that fourth quarter to save us from the previous bad three quarters. And so this one's a loss. Fortunately, we were able to get a W out of that bad situation last time. Just a little PSA before I get into these highlights. I'm not going to be making a video for the Bulls game tomorrow. It's kind of a bummer even for me. I was trying to find a way, whether it be the night of New Year's Eve or the day of the next Bulls game, because I'm going to be busy on Sunday, hoping my G-men make the playoffs against the Colts. And I'm planning on probably getting drunk tomorrow or something, and partying for New Year's. So with all of that BS out of the way, let's just get into some of the bad plays in this game. All right, let's get into it. Here's the tip, which leads to the fastest recorded three-pointer in NBA history. And, I don't know what Don's doing there, why he's not fighting with Buddy a little bit more just in case we won the tip. Here was an attempted pass into Jarrett Allen that gets stolen by Buddy Hield off to Tyrese Halliburton, who's a great passer. Finds Andrew Nembhard for a wide-open three. And I thought we should have started Okoro in this game, especially because they went three guards. Here's a turnover by Lamar Stevens, picked up by Tyrese, who fools the defense and finds Aaron Nesmith wide open in the lane on a fast break. I mean, I feel like Okoro would have matched up better. Here's Tyrese working against Jarrett Allen, finding Miles Turner wide open after getting Jarrett and LeVert to jump. Okoro would have matched up better with that three-guard lineup, in my opinion. Here's Buddy Hield pulling up for a three on the fast break, and he missed, which Miles Turner's cleaned up with a nice offensive rebound and finish. Here is Jalen Smith working against Kevin Love for an and one right here. And, I mean, the defense in general in this game just wasn't up to par at all. And here's Duarte trying to finish at the rim, isn't able to. O'Shea Brissett steals the Kevin Love pass. This definitely could have been called a charge, but it was a 50-50 play. Benedict Mathurin getting the three-point play there. Here is T.J. McConnell out to O'Shea Brissett, wide open for three, which is happening a lot in this game. Even though we did get some good contests, they were still making them in those situations too. Here's Jalen Smith going right at Jarrett Allen. Jarrett just wasn't able to do anything about that. Good offense. Well, good defense, better offense there. Here's Buddy Hield off a tip pass, finishing at the rim. Here's Tyrese working against Darius Garland. Tyrese finding Miles Turner wide open after LeVert doubles, and Miles, as he's done his entire NBA career, hits the three. Here is, I believe that's Tyrese hitting one of his many threes in this game. He was absolutely fantastic. I got to give props to that man. Sorry about that. He should definitely be an all-star while Zerbiak's a clown. This play really pissed me off because there's 3 seconds left. Aaron Nesmith takes it coast to coast, and Evan Mobley doesn't even really try defensively there. Here's a play where Andrew Nembhard goes right into the paint, finds Nesmith again, wide open for three in the corner, and he hits it. And I don't know why we're allowing Aaron Nesmith to dominate against us, but it is what it is. Here's Buddy Hield finding some open space and hitting another three, which they were doing all night. Here is Aaron Nesmith hitting another three from the corner while Kevin Love was slacking off of him, which the way the entire Pacers team was doing last night, there shouldn't have been any slacking off. Here's Buddy Hield going right at Evan Mobley for a nice finish at the rim, which, I wish Ev would be a little tougher there. Even here's Tyrese after LeVert goes under a screen rather than over to hit an easy three, which Okoro is great at getting around screens, so that wouldn't have happened against him. That's my opinion on that. Here's Tyrese fooling Donovan Mitchell into thinking he was going to pass the Buddy and then getting a wide open three on the fast break. And like I said before, this man was absolutely on one against us last night. Here he is threading the needle to Miles Turner for an easy finish at the rim. And here's Tyrese again, pushing up court, faking Donovan Mitchell out again, but Not as much as last time, but enough to still get that wide open three. Here's Tyrese pulling up for three again. This man was just unstoppable last night. He looks like he's going to be super special, an all-star this year, and who knows in the future. Here's Benedict Mathurin, a very physical rookie, going right at Kevin Love. Here's Miles Turner splashing a wide open three again. Here's Tyrese doing work. Oh, here's Buddy Hield's going to do a little shake and bake on Darius Garland. Get just enough space to hit that three. He got DG just enough to be... Oh, this play really pissed me off. Evan Mobley, you can't just let Aaron Nesmith just drive right past you. Put your body in front of him. Even if it's a foul. I don't care. That's way too easy. And make Jarrett look foolish like that. Here's Tyrese just going straight at DG, and I bet DG's looking around saying, where are my big men trying to help me? And this is when they went on their big run after it was tied at 119 with one of their threes and just took over this game. Here's Aaron Nesmith just darting to the rim. Nice and easy for a very easy layup. Here's Buddy dishing off to Benedict. And Don went for the steal. Got to give him credit for that. But he put himself in a bad position defensively to try and catch up to Benedict, who went right to the rim for an easy finish. Here's Aaron Nesmith, who absolutely, Evan Mobley should not be getting pushed around by Aaron Nesmith like that. That really pisses me off. It really does. And that one play where, like I said, he made Jarrett look foolish because, he's not in the right position in between Nesmith and the rim. And by the time Nesmith starts going, he already beat Ev. And then Jarrett's alone on an island where he didn't even have a chance to contest that. And he gets put on a poster by Aaron Nesmith, of all people. And I know I'm kind of trashing on Nesmith, but you got to give him credit. He played really well in that game last night. And I don't know. As you can see, I didn't even say anything. I got this nice banner for Christmas. And hopefully, we can win another one. But the way we played last night, that's not going to happen. Our defense was just not good enough in any facet. And I want to get out all the bad stuff now before we get into the good plays so I can be somewhat happy, I guess. I don't know. But defense was nowhere near good enough in this game. Our best quarter scoring-wise defensively was that we held the Pacers to 29 in the first. And that's not acceptable. It's not. I've said it so many times. We cannot allow teams to score 30 points in a quarter and be okay with it. Excuse me. This is one of those games where I look at our team and I just question myself, how in the hell are we ranked first in defense in the NBA? Is every other defense just that bad? And that's not the case. It's just that we're so streaky that we'll have amazing games defensively, and then our bad games are just good enough that they keep up with that our great games will balance it out. I know we're young and that's why we're not consistent. I just don't get why the Pacers are hungrier than us for this. And I know that we are now a marquee matchup on the schedule. We're no longer the terrible Cavs who everyone looks at as the easy game, the trap game on the schedule. We're the team that teams get up for, and the Pacers showed that last night. They were hungry for that win. Even the first time we played them, they wanted it more than us. We just finished fantastic. We wanted it more in the fourth quarter in that last game we played them, but the first three quarters they wanted it more than us. And in this game, they finished it. You got to give them credit. So it was, we beat the Pacers 34-29 in the first. They beat us 35-34 in the second. They beat us 35-28 in the third. And I believe the fourth, we either won 35-34 or they won 35-34. I didn't even write it down because I was just so disappointed, especially because we took the lead late and it looked like we were going to win that game. When we were up, what was the score? 119 to 113, something like that. And they hit two straight threes to tie it up. And then they just took over. They just took over that game after that. They just zoomed to that 127-119 lead, and we couldn't do enough to come back. So now that we went over all the trash stuff, let's get into some good plays here. Here is Donovan Mitchell taking a nice step to the left and hitting a nice mid-range shot. Here's Donovan Mitchell finding Darius Garland for three. And the offense was humming in this game. Like I said, we only had how many quarters? Here's Donovan Mitchell off to LeVert for a nice dunk. And Here's a great steal by LeVert where he goes all the way to the other end and finishes. And like we were great offensively. We only had one quarter where we were under 30. We scored 28. Here's Isaac Okoro with a great finish. It's like the offense was not the problem in this game. Definitely the defense. Here's Evan Mobley getting a nice steal, trying to pass LeVert, but it goes to Okoro. DG back to Okoro. Nice two-man game there for the finish. And I mean, like, I think Isaac's been fantastic lately. Here's Darius Garland off to the rim for a nice layup. And I know I've been bringing him up a lot, but there's a reason for that, and I'll get into it after we go into these good plays. Here's Evan Mobley off to Okoro, who looked like he was cutting at pretty great times in this game last night. So here's Darius Garland off to Donovan Mitchell, wide open for three in the corner, and he hits it to tie the game at 54. Here we got Donovan Mitchell working against Buddy Hield, going right at Miles Turner, who doesn't even have enough time to get up for that, and he puts it in. And I mean, like, okay, here's another steal by Lamar. Off to Darius Garland, and he finishes over Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. That was a really gutsy finish, but he's a great finisher, so can't fault him for that. Here's Lamar off to Darius Garland. With only 3 seconds left on the clock, he does his patented sidestep and swishes that three. I love that move by him. I wish he would use it a little bit more. Here's Ev with Aaron Nesmith and Miles Turner on him. He takes a nice step to the right and does a nice hook shot in the paint. Here's Ev again off to Lamar, who cut at a great time. No one was paying attention to him with Jarrett's massive presence there. Here's Darius Garland off to Evan Mobley, who's going to miss. Darius Garland grabs the offensive rebound and puts in a nice floater. And I love the effort on those plays when Darius Garland's getting offensive rebounds. Oh, I forgot to put this up. Here is Donovan Mitchell working against Aaron Nesmith, I believe. He steps back for a nice three and hits it. And, like, you can see offensively, we've been great in this game. He has some great defensive plays too. Here's Evan Mobley, just too fast for Miles Turner, especially with, I believe, Buddy in the way. Who was it in the way? Here's Don when he probably traveled on this play when he had no one to go to, so he just threw it off the backboard. And here's Isaac Okoro cutting at the perfect time again for a nice dunk, throwing it down with authority. Here's Darius Garland with a nice floater. And, I mean, that play was hysterical because it got Rick Carlisle ejected. Here's LeVert on the fast break. A nice Euro step. Puts it up and in for the and one play. Here's Okoro off to Jarrett Allen for a nice slam. And Okoro's been good passing and cutting with good timing in these last few games. Here's LeVert off to Jarrett Allen for a nice finish at the rim. Here's LeVert off to Donovan Mitchell with Buddy Hield on him. He dishes to Evan Mobley, who drives to the rim. Tries to pass off to Jarrett. Jarrett's going to put a nice hook shot with his left hand up over Miles Turner. And here we go. We got Donovan Mitchell off to Evan Mobley. His man just falls. So he puts it up and in with Nesmith and Buddy Hield both rumbling and tumbling on the ground. Here we got Donovan Mitchell taking it up court. And he just puts the Jets on. He's too fast. Again, that nice garbage time, useless bucket from my fantasy team, which, you know, I appreciate him getting those 2 points from my fantasy team. It's just like, I just wish we could have won that game. I mean, it's just like, when I get into the numbers, it's going to, like, you know, you're going to see, like, how it was in this game for us in terms of the fact that, like, offensively, we were humming. Like, how many points do we have overall in this game? Let me just pull this up real quick. We had 126. Like, that's nothing to you know, laugh about or anything like that. Like, that's a great night scoring as a team in the NBA, 126, almost 130 points. But when you give up 135, you're going to lose, obviously. And let me get into some quotes here before, or wait, no. I was going to explain my thoughts on Lamar Stevens and Isaac Okoro. When it comes playoff time, let's say we don't get Jay Crowder or any of those other options out there, and I think Jay Crowder is like the perfect fit for us at the three. I think he can teach specifically Okoro a lot, so he can blossom into a player like Jay Crowder or better than Jay Crowder, because I do think he still does have that potential. But let's say we don't get him. I think that in the playoffs, if we're playing a team like, let's say, the Pacers, who are very guard heavy, like I said, like they started Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, and Buddy Hield against us, who are all guards. Okoro should be the one starting because he's faster than Lamar. He's really good at covering guards. Like, he was covering Kyrie last year when we beat the Nets. He locked him down in that fourth quarter when Markkanen was locking down KD. Good times. And if we're playing a team like, I don't know, the Bucks, a team like that where they're bigger and have more forwards, like, we're going to be gearing to a more like forward front court type matchup. I think Lamar should be starting because Lamar is better than Okoro when it comes to bigger guys. He's, Lamar is surprisingly good whenever he switched onto a bigger guy. Like when we were playing the Timberwolves, he did some good things on Karl Anthony Towns, who's one of the premier offensive bigs in this league. So I think that's how we should. I think that's, we should start playing with that in the regular season too, because if that's what they're going to be doing in the playoffs, but at the same time, you want your starting lineup to, gel, get good chemistry and all those things. So let's get into some quotes here. I only have quotes from JB's post-game presser. That's the only one the Cavs posted. And, yeah. So about the game overall, JB said, we decided we wanted to play Indiana Pacers basketball, and that's their strength. We didn't play Cleveland Cavaliers basketball. And this is like, it's not only seen in just like the game itself, like, watching, like you don't just see that we played Pacers basketball just watching the game. You also see it in the score because we play a very slow, methodical, defensive type of basketball. Like if we were playing Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, that score would not be even close to the 130s. If we were playing Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, the score would be more like, I don't know, us like 102, Pacers 90, 92, 94. That's our style of basketball. So he's absolutely right. I mean, the pace was, I don't mind when we turn up the pace because it helps us. But if you're going to play a team like the Pacers, young, hungry, fast, and they thrive off of playing with pace, you don't want to turn the pace up. You want to slow it down. You want to play our style of basketball. And we weren't able to do that. So unfortunate, but what JB had to say about our defense as a whole, he said, I just didn't think we had the focus on the defensive end of the floor because we were scoring points, but we have to be able to do both. And like I said, we only had one quarter where we scored under 30 and we scored 28. So, I mean, like this was just like an offensive fight. It was almost like kind of like an arms race in terms of gathering points rather than it being a slow, methodical duel of sorts, which is unfortunate. So these things happen, and it's unfortunate because, and I've been saying it's unfortunate a lot, but it's a series of unfortunate events every time we lose one game because it can never be one game. That funk just like seems to stick around for another 2-3 games. So hopefully we can get the Bulls back. We play them twice in a row on New Year's Eve and I believe like January 2nd. So that's a team that owned us in the series last year. I believe they won the series 3-1 last year. We won the first game in convincing fashion in Chicago by 32 points. So hopefully we get things, hopefully we own them this year and it's going to be 3-0 by the time January 3rd rolls around and I'm posting my next video. I just, let's just get into some stats. And here we got the big four versus the rest. And in this game, there are only 9 available guys. Raul Neto didn't play. So if anything, this is big four versus other four rather than big four versus the rest. So in terms of points, the big four led the way with 78 and the rest had 48. A good split when you're talking about, 4 and 4 in terms of the fact that the other four averaged 12 points each, which is, that's good. Donovan Mitchell had 28. Jared Allen had 19. He was fantastic, at least offensively. I mean, he had his plays defensively, but he also had plays where he looked a little soft defensively. No offense to him. It's just there was like a play where he got pushed out of the way for an easy layup. That kind of bothered me in that game. Darius Garland had 18. Evan Mobley had 13, and he was on triple-double watch in the first half. Unfortunately, he couldn't get it done. He only had 7 rebounds, 7 assists. For the rest, like I've said before, LeVert's starting to flourish, and I've been saying it all year. I knew by the time the playoffs came around that Cavs fans were going to start liking LeVert rather than hating on him, and I think we're on our way because he's really starting to flourish. He had 19 points in this game against the Pacers last night, and I mean, when you're in uh, I don't want to call it a street fight, but like in terms of the way points were being scored, it was just like, it was like a street fight in the way that it was like, it was just like, I don't know. I'm just going to drop the street fight analogy because clearly it's not working. But you need, you know what? Yeah, it's a street fight, right? You got your guys, I got my guys. So I need my weaker links to step up in terms of putting up as many points as your guys are. And LeVert stepped up. He put up 19. Kevin Love had a 12. Isaac Okoro had 10. And Lamar Stevens had 7. In terms of rebounds, I don't think that street fight analogy worked at all. So sorry about that. So the big four in terms of rebounds had 26. The rest had 18. Jared Allen led the way. He had 14 rebounds in this game, and like he was killing it on the boards. Ev only had half the amount of rebounds with 7. Donovan Mitchell had 6, and Darius Garland only had 1. Oh no, Donovan Mitchell had 4. Sorry, I saw the assist. Not that Donovan had 6 assists, 4 rebounds. I apologize. For the rest, for the 18 rebounds, Lamar Stevens and Kevin Love both had 6 rebounds, and Isaac Okoro and Karis LeVert both had 3 for that 18. Moving on to the assists, Darius Garland had 8, Evan Mobley had 7, Donovan Mitchell had 6, and Jared Allen had the amount that separated each one from each other. He had 1. Which is funny because 8, 7, 6. Haha. Anyway, the rest had 7. And 2 for Isaac Okoro, Lamar Stevens, and Karis LeVert, 1 for Kevin Love. And I've said this so many times, and I feel like the basketball gods are like laughing in my face with this. We had 29 assists in this game. We lost. And the game before the Nets game, because we only had 21 assists against the Nets, we had like 25, 26 assists against the Raptors, and we lost that game too. So I still think we're pretty close to unbeatable when we have over 25 assists, because even if our defense was like 40, 50% there last night, we would have won that game running away the way we were playing offensively, in my opinion at least. It's just unfortunate because we did have a great offensive performance, right? There was only one player who stepped on the court for the Cavs last night that wasn't in double figures, and that was Lamar Stevens. And we played 8 guys. 7 in double figures. We almost had, we would have only been 2 in the 20s because we had a lot of guys close. Jared had 19, Darius Garland had 18, LeVert had 19. So we could have had 4 guys with 20-plus points, which would have been cool, but didn't work out that way. Moving on to the steals, the big 4 had 5. The rest had 2. That's 7 total. 2 for Evan Mobley and Donna Peace for 4, and the last one was Jared Allen. And for the rest, those 2 steals, 1 for LeVert, 1 for Kevin Love. Moving on to the blocks, our big 4 only had 2 blocks. I've said this before. I want this number at 4+ constantly, and I know that's a lot to ask, but I do want Evan Mobley and Jared Allen both averaging 2 blocks a game because I think they're both that good. And if you're averaging 2 blocks a game, that's going to get you into the Defensive Player of the Year conversation at least. So that's kind of my thinking on that, why I say I want the big 4 to have 4+ in every game, because it could come from other guys. But I want Jared and Ev to have about 2 blocks a game by the time the season ends. It's not looking that way right now. They both had 1 in this game for 2 total, and the rest also had 2, 1 for Kevin Love and 1 for Lamar Stevens. Moving on, for the turnovers, we only had 9 in total. Ev had 3. Donovan Mitchell had 2. Darius Garland and Jared Allen both had 1. 5 for the big 4, or 7 for the big 4. Sorry, I'm dumb. 3 for the rest. 1 for Lamar Stevens, 1 for LeVert, and 1 for Kevin Love. The Isaac Okoro was the only player to play last night to not have a turnover, which is kind of cool. And for the plus minus, I was going to do another one of those Isaac Okoro off the bench for starting, because his stats when starting are honestly really good. But this was good enough for me, just as he was the only, he led the way in plus minus. He was +7. Jared Allen, who had a really good game, 19 points, 14 rebounds, was +1. And Kevin Love was the only other guy who wasn't negative. He had a good game, but he was +0. So, it is what it is. So we're going to go further into the stats of this game. The Cavs shot 52.1% from the field, 50 for 96. 42.9% from 3, 12 for 28, and 70% from the free throw line, 14 for 20. And any of you who've watched my channel and seen me talk about stats, I always say I want the field goal percentage above 50, 3-point field goal percentage above 40, and the free throw line above 80. And it was at 70 tonight, so that's probably the only thing, if we won, that I would have harped on. But the crazy thing is how much the Pacers destroyed us from 3, and it's evident in the stats because we were 50 for 96 from the field, right? The Pacers were 48 for 85. So they didn't make as many shots as us. They didn't attempt as many shots as us, but they finished with 9 more points, which is, it's not crazy, but it makes sense when you look at the threes. We were 12 for 28 from 3, like I said, 43%. The Pacers shot 61.3% from 3. They were 19 for 31. And I don't remember what that stats say. That Cavs Canada guy said something that we were contesting shots in this game at a good amount. I don't remember what he said. I believe he said we contested 12 of those 19 threes at least. But I don't remember, to be honest with you. I probably should have read up on that before I started this. And another thing is that for those of you saying we got hosed by the refs in this game, I agree that there were some bad calls, including specifically that goaltending on Okoro that should have been a block for him, or not a block. It should have just been a rebound because it already bounced off the backboard. But in terms of free throws, we really didn't get hosed. We were 14 for 20. The Pacers were 20 for 21. So they shot one more free throw than us, but they didn't leave any points at the line, right? So if they made 14 of their free throws and we made all 20 of ours, it would have made a big difference in this game. You're taking 6 points away from them, so they would have had 129, and we would be getting 6 points, so we would have had 132. So they did a good job not leaving any points out there and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. And before I go and bid you all a Happy New Year, again, like I said last time, vote for the Cavs for the All-Star game. I have Jetty Osman in there at the 3 because of all the Isaac Okoro and Lamar Stevens talk. I just, I didn't want to pick one and put them in there. Also, I was going to put Okoro in there, I won't lie. When it comes to starting, as of right now, I have no problem with Lamar Stevens. That's my guy, quintessential junkyard dog. It's just that I feel like Isaac Okoro gives us a little bit more energy, a little bit more bounce, a little more speed. And I feel like he's been more consistent shooting the 3 lately. When he was starting, he was shooting over 40% from 3. I actually have the notes here from when he was starting. He was shooting 41.7% from 3 and 53% from the field when he was starting. So I probably would have put him in there, but he's listed as a guard. And I didn't want to put Lamar Stevens in there because if I'm not putting one in there, I don't want to put the other one in there to mess with anything. But, I think this... Well, I don't think this proves my feelings for Lamar Stevens. I think it just is a fun graphic I made. I guess JB said it's Marbin time after, after that 4 stints where Coro was starting. I said this in my last video. I don't know why that specific timetable was used. I really don't. But since I won't be making a video for the next game tomorrow, I would just like to say Happy New Year's now to all of you out there. I hope you all enjoy the holiday. I know I will be. And until next time, keep scrapping like a bunch of junkyard dogs.